Place your chips into a bowl, then top with your cooked peppers, the barbecue chicken, grated mozzarella.
Give me 2 minutes, guys. Just going to get a lighter. Just give me 2 seconds. Yeah, not shake it off. Right. Sorry, guys. I thought it was going to be longer. Yogi, who's backstage? Right. We've got Steve. Yogi, you've got the link, haven't you? Let me bring Steve on. Fucking hell. Why do I forget how to do this every time? Oh, Steve.
How you doing?
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, refreshed. Nice and refreshed.
Right. So, I don't know how we want to do it. Do you want to give a little bit of a backstory and then we'll get Yogi on? And
What,
hopefully.
you live now, are you?
Yeah, we're live right now.
You're in. Yeah, well, basically, people, what's been going on is a heck of a lot of fucking stupidness and fucking, come Christmas Day anyway, Yogi knew, like, well before Christmas that, his relationship was on the rocks.
Steve, can I just jump in first? Sorry. Because I think I need to say this because, as we both know, there's some legal matters going on, isn't there? You put it out there, but should we keep that because it could jeopardise cases and all that shit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But back over to you. Sorry to interject, mate. Sorry. Go on then. Back over to you, man.
I mean, as you may know, as you may not know, Yogi was going through a bit of a bad patch, as regards his relationship, and basically come Christmas Day, he was removed from his home by the police, which subsequently made him homeless, and unfortunately, he couldn't turn anywhere. So basically, I reached out with him just before Christmas, and I said to him, "Look, we've got a spare room." Jackie agreed. I agreed that if it came to it, then we didn't mind putting Yogi up in one of our rooms. I'd known the guy at least 20 years over here in Telford, and subsequently, a secret relationship blossomed between my wife and Yogi, which I have put numerous videos out, and I have got full proof of what I'm speaking about in video terms, which I will put on my channel if I really need to, so people can understand what I'm saying. So basically, events unfolded between Yogi and my wife, and I felt that it was unnatural behaviour of a friend.
So what do you mean then?
Person.
Elaborate then, Steve. What do you mean?
Well, basically, he started off. She would be pivoting outside his bedroom door, and every time I'd come upstairs and go into our room, she would leave my room and go over and pivot outside Yogi's door, and then in and out of his bedroom. Now this was going on considerably amount of times. Like if I said to you 18 times in an hour, then you can imagine how many times that would be through the day. Now, to me, that's just unnatural behaviour. A wife shouldn't be acting in that sense. Now, I understand that Yogi's known her and her father a heck of a lot of time longer than what I have. But subsequently, she's my wife. Regardless of whatever man or item or whatever comes along, you should always stick within the morals of marriage. To me, it felt like they were more doing it to make me jealous, and it came to the point where my mind was saying to me, there's something not right here. You know, there's something going on here. This is unnatural behaviour from my wife. So I thought, well, hold on a minute. To prove I'm not going senile, to prove I'm not being paranoid, you know, I've started doing recordings, which I have got. The behaviour everybody will see. You know, your wife just simply don't act like that. If she loves you, she'll stick by your side no matter what, through thick and thin. But unfortunately, I think because of the God-given time that Yogi had known my wife, maybe there was a bit of he fancied her, she fancied him kind of scenario. But unfortunately, she chose to marry me. So that to me saw the unruly behaviour. Rob now should have said, Jack, look, stop coming in and out of my room. I would have done that if that was my mate's wife. I'd be saying, what are you coming in my room so often for? Well, anyway, it came on to the Wednesday, the 17th, and I basically had enough, you know, of the behaviour from both parties, not just my wife, but, you know, for Yogi also. And when my wife
What was Yogi
went
doing
out
then,
of the
Steve?
house,
Sorry. I want to try not to interject as much as I can, but when you say you were sick of Yogi, what was Yogi doing to make you sick of his behaviour?
well, basically, I mean, when she was pivoting in and out of his bedroom and that, I mean, he was obviously playing along with that scenario. But, you know, as things have panned out, it wasn't a scenario, it was real life. You know, kind of sat there making out that he's all innocent, nothing's going on. But yet, you know,
Did you put it to him like Steve?
when on the Wednesday the 17th, when I waited for my wife not to be in the house, and I said to Yogi, I said, look, you know, I said, I've had enough of what's been going on here. I know something's going on. I said, I want you out the house by Friday.
Right.
And I think his reply was frag, you know. And I said, no, Rob. I said, look, what's fucking going on here ain't right. I want you out by Friday. Now, that was probably in the morning or afternoonish that I had said that. But anyway, the pair of them went out up to her dad's. And then Yogi, her dad, and my wife came back into the house because Yogi had obviously gone up her dad's to go and get her dad involved with what I've said to him about getting out. And they're all sat down at the table. And her dad was saying, well, can we sort this out? You know, is there any way that Rob can, you know, stay in the house longer than Friday? And I said, well, it's not under negotiation. You know, I'm not here to sit down and talk. I've made my choice and decision. I want him to leave the property by Friday. Well, Yogi didn't like this and he raised his voice. So I'm not having no man who I've just introduced to my home as a friend, knowing full well he had nowhere to go.
Got you, Rob. Go on, carry on, Steve.
So basically, he raised his voice. He probably didn't like what I was saying. He raised his voice. So I walked around the table and I said to him to leave the property at that moment, at which time he stood up, squared up to me. And it was then that I said, all right, I'll phone the police. I phoned the police and asked the police to remove him. Now, it was over the phone. And
Go on, then.
they asked me to give the phone to Yogi. The police officer asked Yogi if I had asked him to leave. Yogi said yes, and the second he said, but it's my bow address. Now, I didn't know, Jackie didn't know that he actually used the address as a bail address. That kind of shocked me, really, you know, because normally you would ask somebody whose route
Let
they
me
run
interject
down.
here, though. And I get what you're saying, Steve. But at the time, when Rob moved in, I'm surmising here because you put him up that you would have let him use that address as a bail address. Is that
Well,
right or not?
had I had known that he had used it as a bail address, then I wouldn't have
Minded.
put him up. To
So
be
it'd have
fair,
been different.
I don't want the police fucking in and out of my home
Yeah,
and my
I get
address
that.
being paraded around the
Right, it was
courts.
never given as a bail address. I never give the police any bail address. I was bailed with no bail address.
I can
So when
remember you telling me that,
so
Yogi.
when I passed the phone over to you, the first thing that came out of your mouth to the police was, "But this is my bail address."
Yes. But not on record.
Well,
And
obviously,
who told you to phone the police, Brad? Because you're omitting a lot of facts here, aren't you?
needless to say, like I
You're
said,
omitting a lot of facts, aren't you, Fraggle?
does it matter? It don't fucking matter what I'm admitting. I'm telling the
Oh, it
facts as
does.
it happened. I'm saying to you as
Let
it
him carry on
happened.
just for now, Rob, and then you can have your say, and then hopefully
carry
we
on.
can find
Go
some
on.
common ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on, Steve.
So basically, the officer had asked him. Now that shocked me when he said this was his bail address. I mean, because I had no knowledge. Jackie had no knowledge. So with that, he subsequently left the property with Jackie and with the father. Now it's at that point they went up to her father's and
Can we just go back one step, though? Let's just go back one step because I think this is important, mate. So as the police have been phoned and Yogi and Jackie's left the property, had it been established that Yogi was having an affair with your wife? So
yes.
was that cast? So what I'm asking now, was that
Yes.
cast iron in
Yes,
your mind?
because
And
I've
if so, how?
Yes, because I've got a video. She was in his bed at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
I've also got text messages from Jackie admitting that she slept
So there
in
was a
Rob's
camera
bed.
in Rob's bedroom then for you to have a. There must have been a video, mustn't it? I mean, a camera. Sorry. And I
Well,
sort of understand why there would if you're thinking that there's an affair, but there must have been a camera, mustn't it, in Yogi's bedroom?
let's just say that it was admitted by text message also from Jackie that she slept
Right.
in Rob's bed. So I've got the evidential proof that she slept in his bed at 3 a.m. and also I've got text messages from my wife stating that she slept in his bed.
Right. Can I just interject there for 1 second?
Go on then.
Fraggle
Go on
has
then.
a security camera in his bedroom, right? And that records the audio. Now, I have the audio of Wednesday from 12 a.m. in the morning until 5:30 in the morning, where Fraggle is sat in the bedroom ringing and talking about his ex-girlfriends at an elevated rate so Jackie could hear him while she was sat in my room on my bed. So I'll
Right.
stop there.
Who I speak to
Carry
in
on.
my life, so there's no getting around it that she was in your bed. She's admitted sleeping in your bed.
She was
There's
not
video
in
evidence
my
that she
bed.
was in
She
your
was
bed.
on my bed to start with. You know she came in and got the electric blanket out of your room to put over herself, which one of the cats pissed on. So she brought the electric blanket back into your room, and I said, "You are not sitting there freezing. Get in my bed."
And is that
Okay.
actions of a friend to a friend's wife?
Yes, if she's cold, because there's no heating in the house, but I'll cover that later on.
So
Carry on.
needless to say, there's no excuses. It's 50-50 it takes. So anyway, there's evidence she's in her bed. She's admitted to sleeping in Rob's bed. No matter how people want to portray it, them actions should never have happened. A friend should never have suggested get in my bed. She should never have had the thoughts to get into his bed.
Was she fully clothed, Fraggle?
So needless to
Show
say,
the
that's
picture.
that
Show
covers
the
that
picture.
aspect of
Show the
her in
picture.
your bed.
Show the
So as a
picture.
friend, you would never have suggested her get in the
Show
bed.
the picture.
You should have pushed her away. You should have told her that ain't right.
Pushed her away
You
from
getting
what?
into my
An
bed.
argument that you was having with her, and she was sat in here, and you was sat next door.
Oh, so was there an argument? Right. So I'm not saying
No,
it's
there was
right, and I'm not
there
saying
was
it's
no
wrong.
argument.
I'm
There
not
was
saying
no
it's right, and I'm not
argument.
saying it's wrong,
I have
guys.
the
But it
recording,
puts it into
Fraggle.
context, doesn't it?
There was no argument. But
I have
needless
the
to say,
recording,
the
Fraggle,
actions. Needless to
recorded
say,
on
the
your own
actions.
camera from 12 o'clock until 5:30 on the
So
Wednesday
what was the
morning.
argument about then, Yogi?
Basically about exactly this. Fraggle thinking I was
Right.
having an affair with Jackie. At this point,
Right.
I'm painting the bedroom that they said I could stay in. And Fraggle's backwards and forwards from their bedroom to the toilet. And as he walks past, he takes a photo and a video. That is where the photo and the video came from. And the actual time of that, what was it, Fraggle? You give your
Don't
time, and
matter
I'll
what
give you
time.
real
I've got
time after.
all I've got to do is
You
look at
know
the
what
video
you've already
recording
said.
on my phone. It will tell me the date and the timestamp of each video that's on my phone. So I've got the date and timestamp. But needless to say, these are just stupid technical little stupid things you're chucking up. She was in
Oh,
your
they're
bed.
not.
She
They're
slept
key
in your
points,
bed, right? And
Fraggle.
as a
You're making
friend,
your own
you should never have
backstory.
had my wife in your bed. After me, of the goodness of our heart, putting you up in the home.
She was sat in my bed to keep warm.
And why couldn't she sleep in my bed and be warm? Why must she
She
be in your
wasn't
bed
asleep.
to keep warm?
She did not go to sleep. The only time she slept was lay on top of my quilt with the electric blanket over her. When she woke, she said, "My foot is wet. One of the cats has pissed on my electric blanket," and she brought it back in the bedroom. And you know that because you were sat in there when she brought it back in.
No,
And that was
she
when I
just came
said,
in the
"You're not
room.
sitting there
She came in
freezing
the room
in my
after
bed."
in and out of your room, right, for an hour. Then she came in the room, grabbed a blanket, and stormed into your room, jumped on your bed quite freely and happily. Now, that's not the actions of a friend. Do you think I'll
Because
do
you're
that
having
if
an
the feet was on the
argument.
other foot?
You are having an argument in two separate rooms just because I'm in this room painting, which you know I was.
Anyway, we're moving on from that Wednesday event, right? When Rob was removed from the property, right? They all
I
travelled
wasn't
in the
removed,
car
Fraggle.
up to her
They
her
asked me
dad.
if I would
Now I'm
leave,
going
and
to
I
get to my
said yes.
now I'm going to get to my next point now, right? She jumped in the car with you, and her dad went up to her dad's house.
You're
Right,
missing a bit, aren't you, Frag?
when she's
in
perfectly
front
got
of the door.
home, and she stayed with you and her dad up at her dad's house from Wednesday to the Saturday. There was no need for her to be up there. The only reason she was up at her dad's is because
she was
you
avoiding
there.
you.
She had known exactly because you manipulated and coerced her, and that's
No,
why
I
she
am not
jumped in your
manipulated,
bed.
coerced nobody at all, Fraggle.
You coerced and manipulated her, and that's why she jumped in your bed. And that's why she wouldn't come back to the home, because she was besmitten by you. You knew she was besmitten by you, and you've used the situation to your advantage. That's what you've done.
I don't think so.
Manipulated and coerced her, because otherwise she would have gone up there. You could have taken care of her dad, and she would have come back to the house.
So you did ring Brian 4 times, begging him to pay for a taxi for Jack to get back? No?
No, because we were stood by the door
I've got that recording as well, by the way, because that was recorded on the camera as well. Before
Jack left the house.
When you said Brian, you were there within an hour that you wasn't.
We was at the house actually when that was said. Before Jack had even gone out. Before Jack had even gone out the door. Right, you were already in your car. Right, there was me.
So
Jack,
you now admitted I
Brian.
was already in the car and Jackie was still in the house with her dad, yeah? So we didn't leave the house together. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you went into your car. You had to go because
you said we left the house together.
The police officer told you
I left
to
the
leave
house
the property
first, and the woman on the end of the phone asked me to leave. I said yes, that's no problem.
Yeah, you left the property. You was in your car. You was in your car, so you wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have known what was. You wasn't present when Brian and Jackie was by the door.
Key off me, yes.
Right. There was
2 minutes
Brian
later,
and
Jackie
Jack
and
by
Brian
before
followed.
before Jack and Brian left the property, I said to Brian, and I said to Jack, I said, Jack, I said, you get in that car, it'll be over because it proves to me you want him more than what you want me. I said, so therefore, what we can do, let your dad go with Rob, and we'll go up to the house an hour later. And I said to Brian, right, I said, if she gets in that car, I said, it's over because I'm asking her as my wife to stand by me on my choice and decision, and we will go up to Brian's an hour later. But no,
Like,
she
so,
jumped in the
Steve,
car.
can I jump in?
knew-
Can I jump in? Steve's saying there was an affair. Yogi, is there an affair? Or
No,
was there
there
an
isn't.
affair?
There never was.
Right.
Why
So
laugh?
what?
Because you know
Go
what
on.
you've done. You've manipulated and coerced a woman that you knew was be smitten by you.
I don't think so. I've got the
Admit it.
conversation with Fraggle
Admit
of
it.
Friday
Admit it.
between. I've got the conversation of Wednesday between 12:07 and 2:38 when me and Brian came back as well.
Oh, on
So
the
if you'd
Wednesday
like me
when
to
you
put
came
that up,
after
when you were
you
sat
went
in
up
the
to
bedroom
Brian,
with Jackie while I wasn't
Af-
here.
after you went up to Brian's to beg Brian to come to the house and amicably
No,
sort this out.
actually, you know the real reason, Fraggle. I went to pick Brian up to take him to Wolverhampton to pick up a carpet cleaner from his daughters. We came here on the way back to pick up the carpet cleaning fluid that me and you had picked up the day before with the Hoover and the other vax.
Needless to
So
say,
you're
you begged
twisting
Brian because Brian
everything.
wouldn't have come.
You're not
Brian
telling
wouldn't
the
come.
truth.
Brian came to the house purely right to negotiate on your behalf for you to
No,
stay
Brian
longer
came
than the
to the
Friday.
house with me to pick up the cleaning fluid for the vax that we just picked up from Wolverhampton from his daughter Kerry's house.
And you came to the house and you probably begged Brian to negotiate because the first words Brian said was, let's sit down, let's talk about this, let's
I
sort
don't know
this
where the
out so we
voices
can
come
stay
from in
longer
your
than
head,
Friday.
Frank, but fuck
That
me.
was Brian's words. But needless to say, you all left together at the house. Anyway, you went back to Brian's house, right? Brian would have been taking care of you, and Jackie should have been back with her husband. But no, that didn't happen, did it, Rob?
Well, no, obviously she stayed at her dad's house.
So shall we?
Exactly.
Steve, shall we?
So you
Steve,
knew
shall we
she
hear
was
you from?
smitten
Shall we
by
hear
you.
you? Shall we hear you from Rob? See what Rob's side of it is, because I think we've got the gist. We've got the gist of what Rob's saying. I mean, Steve. Sorry, guys. So, what's your take on it, Yogi? There's no affair, or there is an affair, because Steve's saying that he's got a text off his missus. Is Yogi there? Have I lost you, Yogi?
Because there's nothing going on and there never has been.
Okay. So then, how do we move forward?
Was the amount of times that Jackie came into the bedroom to speak to me or to speak to the cats, because they've got cats and the cats were in here quite a lot of the time. So she's coming in to see the cats.
Okay.
Just excuses, in it, Rob? Just excuses. You knew exactly what you were doing.
Excuses, Frag. It's the fucking truth. It's the truth. It's been
That's why
like
you
this all
sat
the way
there.
through. We tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen. I've heard your conversation, as I say, from 12:08 until I came back with Brian. So you want to shut your mouth because I heard every single word that you said to
All
me.
right, I'll tell you what, Rob.
And if
Come
I
see
put that
face
up, that's
to face.
manipulation.
And then all putting out
What you
threats
tried
that
to
you and your putting out threats to me that you and your sons are going to come and do me at the Tommy march.
Right, that's funny because you're on about a Facebook post that doesn't even say that. It says that me and my sons were going to the Tommy march. I didn't even know you were going. You'd put up a post on Facebook the night before saying you were staying in London for another week, but you wasn't even in London in the first place, was you? You was at Phil's, wasn't you? Now, see, Frag, we know where you are.
I was actually fucking in London, if you like, maybe.
How did you manage London? That then? When you was on a live most of the night, you couldn't have made it because we've already checked the train times. You was already here.
I was in London on my way back.
The same as when you came in the house
yesterday morning.
You know,
see the train ticket.
When you came running across the garden, you said, "Oh, prove that I've been in the house." We've got the proof you came in the house because you took the camera, you dickhead, and turned it on yourself when you took it off the fucking wall and it froze. At 2:27.
Well, why don't you come and sort it with me face to face?
Does it have to get to that? I thought we were going to try and come to some common ground.
I'm not having the little bastard lying. That's what he's doing. He's twisting the truth.
Not really,
He
no,
thinks I've had
because
an
the
affair with his
actions of
missus
my
and I
wife,
haven't.
the actions of my wife proves the manipulating, coercive behaviour that you've done because you
Have
knew
you got
she
a
would be
text message,
smitten by
Steve?
you. You knew she
Steve,
was
listen.
smitten by you.
Okay, I hear you, Steve, but have you got a text message off your wife saying that
Yeah.
she slept with Yogi? That's
Yeah,
100% fact.
I even put it up in a fucking video
Put it
the other
up.
day, but I took it down.
Because you haven't fucking got it.
It's done.
Saying you got no video. All you've got is what you've recorded. You knowing what you're
Yeah,
saying.
but
to
if
her.
you've got the text, though, you'd vote to put it back up, Steve. I mean, I don't even want you to do that. I said to you yesterday, didn't I? After this, keep it away from YouTube, man. You know,
Can
after this,
record
but
yourself.
I thought the point of this live, right, was not to have you fucking fighting and arguing with each other, right? Was to try and find some common ground. If any of you have got any questions to ask each other, then get the questions asked. See if you can come to a common ground, you know. So I'm not even going to tell you to put it
He's
up.
turned off for an emergency fucking hospital line. That's how far he's gone.
Torbs,
Say that
I've
again,
just
Yogi.
I've just sent you.
She's got an emergency landline because of her health, and he's turned that off as well.
Torbs, I've just sent you a screenshot of it. Well, you weren't thinking about her by having her in your bed. You wasn't thinking about anybody except yourself because you knew she was be smitten by her.
She has sat in my bed once, and it was after the cats pissed on the electric blanket. And I'll keep saying it because it's the fucking truth. She was sat in the bed, fully clothed, and that's the picture that you've got when you walk past the fucking bedroom into yours.
Oh, and then she told me and her dad, oh, nothing's going on whatsoever. Nothing ever's going on. And 24 hours later, she changes her mind because I said I've got recordings. And she says, oh, but we were only cuddling. So therefore, that means things are going to be hidden until you prove, and then people might admit. But needless to say, you know, she was in your fucking bed. And a wife shouldn't be in your bed, and you as a friend should not have let her get into your bed.
It's the 25th of fucking December when I came. The heating has not been on once. You've used that to keep her in the fucking bed in the warm. There you go. It's fucking out there now.
See, you're the only one that's coerced and manipulated anyone, because if that was the case, if I coerced or manipulated her, she would have been. If I had coerced or manipulated her, she would have been by my side and not by yours. And not by yours. Quite simple. You used the situation because you knew she was be smitten by you, and your wife had just kicked you out, and you wanted to just come along and destroy my life. The only question I've got for you is, why have you done it all? Why have you done? Why have you done this?
Fuck all. Nobody has. It's in your fucking head. You caused it.
It's nothing in my head.
Manipulation is what you fucking did.
It's nothing in my head. You're the only one that's manipulated.
You was called when she was fucking having problems with Darren, so you knew exactly what to do. Now, I don't want to go into the fucking past, but I can. I can go all the way back to Dixon because I've heard every fucking story.
Yeah, and I was the only one that ever done any actions to help Jackie all the way back then. But needless to say, manipulation and coercion means for the person's own prior gain.
You knew
now
exactly
I've gained nothing out of.
And how to
I've gained nothing. She weren't by my side. Now you manipulated and coerced her, and that's why she's by your side and not by mine. If I coerced and manipulated her, then she would have been by my side.
Bragg, it's still not going to make it true.
It's true. What's going on? No matter how you want to say it, you know, her own words, she slept in your bed. Now, as a friend, you should have said to her, I don't think that's the right thing.
She slept in my bed. She was asleep on my bed.
Well, you should have said to her, as a friend, you shouldn't be doing that. Your husband's next door. But that never happened.
To his ex-missus, yeah. Or whoever he was on the phone to talking about your ex-missus.
Oh, I speak to one person and then she's jumping off your bed, running to your door to try and listen to who I'm having a conversation with. She jumped
You
out
were
your
saying
bed
it was
4
loud
times to
enough,
come
weren't
to
you,
that
so she
door.
could hear it.
She jumped
And
out
then you
your bed
started with the
4
music,
times.
didn't you, Frag? See,
4
all these
times
little
she jumped out of
details you
your
seem
bed.
to forget to add in.
So if she's in your bed, right, who I'm talking to is nothing to do with anyone. She jumped out of your bed 4 times to put her ear to the door to listen to who I was talking to and what I was saying.
I think
How do you know
said it
that?
now
How do you know she's
with the
put
old
it here
street
to the
wheel
door?
Frag, purposely.
Because you can hear her getting off the bed and you can see the shadow
Right.
going to the door and standing by
Okay.
the door
Okay.
listening to my
Okay.
conversation.
I get you, bro. I get you. I get
So
you. But
what
you
was
know
it
what
of
it is?
anyone's concern, her jumping out of his bed to come to the door to listen to a
Do you know what it
conversation
is?
that I was having with someone?
You know what it is, Steve? If I brought someone, and I mean anyone, and I mean fucking anyone, mate, right? And I knew that someone was having an affair with my wife, right? If I couldn't do it with my hands, I'd pick something up, mate, right? And I'd wrap them both. I'd
Yeah,
wrap
but
them
the
both
problem
up.
is if I'd done
And that's what
anything
I
like
don't
that,
understand, Steve.
if I laid a finger on Rob, then he's a grass anyway. He's proved by all the statements he's been putting into the police. He would have just
Well,
gone to
to
the
be fair,
police and
that's
said,
another
I've done
point I was
something
going to say.
against him, and I would have got arrested for what?
But to be fair, we're calling you're calling Yogi a grass, but you phoned the police also, haven't you?
Yeah, once.
Can I
Get
just
him
make a
removed out
point?
of the property
Can
for
I
squaring
just
up
make
to
a
me.
point here?
But he's put
I haven't made
Yeah.
a statement.
He's put statement after statement after statement. He's coerced and told Jackie to put statement after statement after statement to the
Hello.
police.
So have you been?
I have
So if
not
there's any
who's
made
the
statements,
those
who's the
statements.
grass? Who's the
Jackie
grass,
has made
Rob?
the statements.
what have
Who's
you
the
been
grass,
charged with,
Rob?
Steve?
Who's the
If the
grass, Rob?
statements, if
Who's
the
the grass, Rob?
statements
Putting
in,
in fucking statement after statement after statement
if the
after phone
statements
call
There is
been
after
put
no
in,
phone call.
Steve, then you'd have been
statements in my
charged.
name. They are in Jackie's name. It was Jackie's statements, not mine.
Yes, you
I never
coercing
made a
her to do
statement.
that to get me out the picture, but you've
No,
put fucking
Fraggle.
statements in.
The
I've got
first
proof that
statement
you
was
put
given to
statements
the
in.
police control room when we left the house. They phoned my phone and I gave the phone straight to Jackie.
You've
Now,
been to
nothing
the
was
police
coerced
station
there because that's a space of about half a mile. It was
because you're
within
in the
2
shit
minutes
with
of
the
us leaving the
police,
house.
right? Because you're already in the shit with the police because of allegations that was made by your
You was
ex-wife.
told, Fraggle,
You
keep your
wanted to go
mouth
to the
shut.
police and try and make it look good, so you'll get a lesser
Kicking
whatever or
backstage
whatever
gloves
you've
a
been,
minute.
whatever your allegations are, right? I've put them out there. I ain't saying it on here, right? You're telling people that you're not on bail. You are on bail.
I'm on an
I know,
LFA.
but let's not talk about that, because that's
Well, I'm
legal
still
issues
not allowed to
still
talk
going
about
on,
it.
Steve.
So
You
you're
spoke about it.
putting
So
in
she's
statement
gone
after
to the
statement
police
after
now.
statement about me, putting in statement after statement after statement. That makes you a fucking grass.
I have not put no statements in. I don't know where you keep getting this from that I've put a statement in. I haven't. Jackie's
I've
put
got
2 statements
I've got
in.
messages. I've got messages from your own typing, and also the way that you manipulated Jack to put statement after statement after statement in against me.
What, in
So
in
you're
2
the
minutes
one
from
that's
leaving your
coerced
house, yeah?
and
When she
manipulated
was
her to the
crying in the back of
situation.
the car. When she
You
was with her
used-
dad. When you said her dad
you've
didn't know
used-
anything about it.
You've
Yeah, he
used
was in the front room listening.
you've used my wife to gain a roof over your head because you had nowhere else to go, and that proved the point that within 2 seconds of the police removing me from my home on Saturday the 20th, you were back in the fucking property. So therefore, you know what's all been going on is the actions of somebody that you knew was be sported by you, and you've used that to your
As I
advantage to
said
gain a
before,
roof
Fraggle,
over
that's
your
all
head,
in your head.
right, and to kick me out the house. Well, you actually speak louder than words. Where are you now? Where was you from Wednesday to Saturday? Who was you with from Wednesday to Saturday?
I was at Brian's flat
With
Brian. Jackie was obviously at dialysis and everything, so
no, obviously you stayed at the property with Jack and Brian. That's the short
yes,
of it.
Jackie in her dad's bed and me and Brian on the settee.
So you knew Jackie was be sported by you. You knew that, and like you're saying, you know all the history about Darren and Paul. We both know the history of Darren and Paul. which is nothing to do with this argument. You keep bringing people
Oh, it is,
involved
because
in this
you watched how
argument.
they manipulated, and then you knew how to do it.
You keep bringing others involved in this argument, saying that, oh, your sons are going to turn me over. Hope
That's the
you don't
second
bump.
time you said
But who
that,
had
and
the balls to go
everyone's
to the
quite
rally
welcome
after
to go
you
to my
turned?
Facebook and look at the post, because it's still
went-
there. I haven't deleted
still
it. I
went-
haven't edited it.
Who still went to the rally after you issued a threat saying that you and your sons are going to the rally and you
As I
hope you
said,
bump
you
into
said
one
you was in
another?
London. You were staying for another week because you put it on Facebook, didn't
Who
you? I'm
put a
staying in
f-
London for another week to try and
who-
sort out my new accommodation. I think it was.
Who put the threat on
But then
social
suddenly
media
you was
that
here
you and your sons are going to the
by
rally
1
and you
o'clock,
hope that you
which
bump
was
into me?
impossible. You was already here.
Who put the threat on social media to say me and my
There is
sons
no
are going
threat
to the
on
rally and
social
I hope we
media.
bump into
It is
you?
all there
And we
for
hope you
everybody to
bump
see on my
into you.
Facebook page. Everyone's welcome to go and look what it says. It does that.
Yes,
Is not
and
a
it
threat
says
against
that
you.
me and
It's
my
not a threat
sons are
against
going to the
anybody.
rally
It was
and
I
I
was
hope
going
we
to the
bump
rally
into
with
one
my
another.
sons.
Me and my sons are going to the rally and I hope we bump into one another.
So
Meaning
how's that a threat?
it's a threat. Because you said we hope we bump into one
Meaning
another,
it's a threat.
and you would have more than one person with you. I went to the rally on my own. I didn't care what you said or what your sons would say. In fact, I bumped into your son. And he said you're a fucking joke of a father.
Right, that's funny because I spoke to. Which one was it, by the way?
Oh, that's for you to work out which son I bumped into and spoke to.
Oh, I know you haven't bumped into any of them.
I
That's why I
bumped
was
into
asking
your
you.
son, and I also bumped into somebody else from your past who lives on Sutton Hill. That's the only clue I'm going to get. And he said you're a joker.
Mm.
So
We'll
now
see.
you work out in your brain which one of your sons thinks that you're a joker.
Well, I know it was none of them because I spoke to them all.
And
So we don't know what you're on about.
that should narrow it down for you.
The say, Frank, it's about you and
And
Jack.
if you're going to say to me that I haven't bumped into your son, then I had 4 witnesses that when I got out of the taxi, I went straight up to him because I thought he was there to give me a problem, and he had not a fucking clue what was going on. But I explained to him what was going on, and he said, "Well, my dad's a fucking joke anyway."
But you can't
So
give
now
me a
you
name.
need to work out in your brain which one of your sons would have said that you're a joker.
None of them at all.
So there you go.
That's totally off subject.
Because I don't take threats lightly. And if people tell me that they're going there with their sons and I hope we bump into you, then I'm going to go there to prove a point that nothing worries me.
But you was in London, wasn't you?
No, I was on the train actually. I got back to the train station and I went over and got something to eat.
What time was that?
From McDonald's. I bumped into your son outside McDonald's. I went and ate, and then I walked over to the train station.
What time was that then, Frag?
I don't need to tell you times. I don't need to tell you times because I had witnesses.
All right then. So that's about it then.
Like I said, I also bumped into somebody else from your past and my past that we both know.
Yeah. Is that the one you were searching for the other day? That you was told
I
to
don't
go
need
and
to search for anyone because this was accidental.
You was told to go and look for by somebody you didn't know that I was godparents to their kids.
I went to Seven Gorge after the rally. All right, and I went in the Seven Gorge in Anna Mill, and that's where I bumped into the person from your past and my past. Because they were in there with their wife having a meal. And again, at that point, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 witnesses that had seen me speaking to that individual person.
Yeah, give the name then, Frank.
I'm not giving no names. I know what happened. They know that I spoke to
Yeah.
them.
All right then. Something else that can't be proved, like
And
mind games.
the only clue I'm going to give you is from Sutton Hill. That's the only clue I'm going to give you. We both know him very, very, very well.
Someone from ECB.
And you
pub.
might have even bumped into him in the pub when you were stalking Kaz. There's another clue for you.
Kick him back, Tubbs.
There's another clue for you.
You cooking dinner, Tubbs?
Sorry, I'm fucking talking away, right? And I'm muted like a monk. I'm saying, where do we go from here then? Where do we go? What do we want to achieve? Are we going to try and find some common ground?
But I say, I'm not
Stay,
the one putting it all over social media. I've just left it.
So, stay. What would you like to come from this live, mate?
Me, I'd just like truthful answers, but obviously I ain't going to get the reason why he's decided to do this and tip my marriage upside down.
Right, that's the question that you want to talk to again, then. I'm sure, I think he's answered you, like, but go on.
But at the end of the day, I mean, you know, I know where I ain't going no more. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm going to build my new life.
Yeah, man. So, are there any questions you've got, Steve, for Rob?
Why he done it, why the situation turned to how it is, that them two are now together.
So you're saying it again.
The way I look at it, the step forward for me from here is divorce and then crack on with my own life.
Okay. So, are you and Jackie together, Rob?
No.
Okay. And if you have had an affair with Jackie, right? Why is the question she's asking? So, have you had an affair?
No. It's all in Fraggles there.
Actions speak louder than words at the end of the day. Whether I know that you have, you know, everything surrounding the whole scenario stinks, down to the point where she got in your bed. I mean, that don't bother me anymore now. There's nothing more you could say. There's nothing more you can put on social media. There's nothing more you can do, you know, that's gonna hurt me or twist my mind in any way, shape, or form. Because you're welcome to her.
So are you going to take down your doxing videos and all the stuff you've been putting up?
I don't need to. At the end of the day, you need to retract. You can't just tell me to retract. You need to fucking retract everything too.
But I haven't put nothing up. What have I put up? There you go.
In the end of the day, you know,
There's nothing.
I'll tell you
videos.
from where I'm sat now, there's nothing, right, that anyone can put on social media or speak about that's gonna make my brain hurt. My brain's on a new path now. My brain's working on divorce, get away from that situation. It ain't worth it.
Wasn't it arbitration the other day?
More coercive behaviour. Send a text to Jackie and he's actually controlling the phone. At the end of the day, the way I look at it now, right? It's gonna
You
be
offered Jackie the other day arbitration, but then told her it's £1,500.
Arbitration leads to divorce.
You can just go straight divorce, bro.
The divorce.
You can just go straight divorce, mate. I did.
You know, needless to say, the actions of you pair, whatever you put up on social media, it's not going to affect me from this day forward.
And if it's a straightforward divorce, it won't cost you. It won't cost you much now, but especially I don't know if it's assets.
That's the whole point towards the arbitration, because the arbitration leads to the divorce, but you go in judging chambers, right, and then everything's gets said like in judging chambers for me and the judge, and likewise for Jackie and the judge, and then the decision's made at the end of it. It's
What
not
I'm
marriage
saying, though, there's
guidance.
no.
It's basically getting the whole picture out there from each individual party.
But you'd only have to do that, Steve. You'd only have to do that if there's like a house to sell and there's other assets to split. If there's
Yeah,
no,
but
I don't know if there is.
Yeah, but it's also in relation to the marriage, so the judge can get painted a better picture to understand. And
Yeah,
then
but
he makes
listen, if you're both
decision at the
agreeing,
end of it.
if you both sign that, if you serve the divorce petition and Jackie signs it, there's no need for the judge. It doesn't have to go to court, mate.
Yeah, and
There's
then all
nothing
this garbage
split, is
about,
there?
and then all this garbage about going to the police about mental this and mental that, domestic this, domestic that. That's why arbitration is a lot better from where I'm sat, because each party gets their own words and paints their own picture to the judge surrounding the marriage breakdown, and then it's for the judge to decide at the end.
Right, if that's what you, so that's the way you want to go. Okay, I didn't know that's the way you want to go. I was just saying you didn't. I thought you'd have to do that, Steve, but I get what you're saying, mate. Yeah.
It's a bit like when you're on criminal matters and you go judging chambers and you talk to the judge and put your story across, and then obviously he makes a decision at the end of it. But it's for each individual judging chambers to paint the picture to the judge of how they think it's happened, and then the judge will decide.
What
then
it
at
means
the
is he's
end.
got 3 pictures that will show the judge and say, "Look, I've caught her in his bed." That's what that means.
So
Sorry, I
if
have to
that's
laugh
what you
at that.
think, see, then that way that takes Rob out of the picture altogether, right? There'd be me judging chambers, there'd be Jackie judging chambers, and it's the judge then that will decide on what each individual party has submitted to the judge.
So is that the route you're going down, Steve? You're going for the divorce?
Mm.
I don't right or wrong, but I had to do this because I wasn't allowed a voice. I was just letting Fraggle run his mouth for a few days, and then obviously this is where the truth comes out, because he's been trying to say it for days. And if you go back and watch the videos, you'll see how it changes.
Yeah, but Rob, my story hasn't changed. My story's stuck the same. You're just thinking of excuses of what you could say.
I don't need to think of excuses because nothing's happened.
How many
I have to give a statement. There's nothing going on between me and Jackie. It's all in your head.
How many scenarios could be played out why she was in your bed? She was cold. Now, there's other solutions other than her getting in your bed. She could have put the heating on and got back in our bed. She could have gone downstairs and put 2 quilts over her. She could have got in our bed and put 2 quilts on, but she decided to get into your bed.
But that's
was the heating on in your? Was the heating? So what's come out today is that on this live stream, right, is that the heating's never on in your house, that you keep the heating off. Is that a correct? Is that a fair?
Is that a solution to a problem that he just thinks that? Oh, the heat.
I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. I mean, Steve. Sorry. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just asking. Was the heating switched off at your house?
The heating can be put on at any time by anyone.
Right.
Because there's always gas on the meter, so anyone could have switched. Anyone could have switched the heating on.
1 hour on Wednesday.
Anybody could have switched the heating on at any given time. So why wasn't that used as an option instead of her getting in your bed? Why specifically?
There's 22 days before this happened.
Why specifically did she have to get in your bed?
2 weeks.
Why specifically did she have to get in your bed? and
Where's
not
the other
choose one
2
of the
weeks,
other
Fraggle?
options.
You're going from me moving in to a week later. This has happened. Well, it
Forget
wasn't a
that. The
week.
question is, right, why specifically did she have to get in your bed other than use one of the other options of putting the heating on or doubling up on
Because
the
you was
quilt?
in the middle of an argument and she was sat on my bed when it happened. Obviously,
There was no
she got
argument.
pissed on. So I said to her, "You don't sit there dithering, get in my bed." So I told her to get in my bed
So
to
if it was
stay
pissed on
warm.
it, hold on.
No other reason.
If you say the blanket was pissed on, then why did she pick it up and put it on top of her in your room?
It was pissed on while she was asleep on my bed at 4:20.
So she was on your bed, right, and the cats had pissed on it while she was in your bed. Then prior to that, why did she specifically get up and go in your bed other than put the heating on or double up on the quilt?
Why
You
would you
just
ask her?
stated
I've
that
got
she.
no idea.
You just stated
Why
the cat
do
pissed
you
on it
keep
while it
putting
was
it
in
on
your
me? I've
room.
got no answer to it. All I was doing was
You
offering
just said
to get under my quilt
you
to stay warm.
you just said she picked the quilt up, got in your bed, and then it got pissed on. But
No,
just
I
before
didn't.
that, you said it was because she got in your bed
She was
because
lay
the
on the
cat had
bed
pissed on
with
it
the
in
electric
our room.
blanket that she fetched out of your room. You know she fetched out of your room because you was in there when she fetched it. She put it over her, went to sleep on my bed. She woke up and her foot was wet, and she found out the cat had pissed on the electric blanket. So she unplugged it, brought it back in your room.
The cat
sat
had not
back on
pissed
my
on that
bed, and I said, "You're not sitting there freezing. Get under the quilt." Which is when you walked past and you took the picture.
The cat did not piss on the blanket while in my room.
The cat did, because I fucking washed it 2 days ago.
Why did she specifically get out of my bed and get into your bed when she could have put the heating on or doubled up on the quilt in our room?
As I said, why are you asking me?
You're the one with all the answers.
Why are you asking me?
You're the one with all the answers.
Not me. You should be asking it. It should be Jackie. But you're not.
You're sending
you're the one that's gobbing off on. Aren't you? We'll move on to
You're
that
the one gobbing off on her behalf. I'll tell you why she got in your bed. Because you manipulated and coerced her. Because you haven't got an answer why she specifically got in your bed. Instead of putting the heating on. Well, why didn't you suggest to her, instead of getting in your bed, why did you not, right, put it to her, why are you getting in my bed? You could put the heating on or you could double up on the quilt. Why didn't you mention one of them options to her?
She's done more for herself in 2 days than she's done in 2 years with you. She's had to change.
You can't answer it. You can't answer it. You're in the wrong. You should have suggested.
If I'm playing mind games with her, how come she's suddenly got her mind back and she acts for herself now?
No, because of you. That's the manipulation all the way. Anyway, I'm going back to this question because you haven't answered it. Why didn't you tell Jackie to put the heating on?
Because I told her to get under the quilt, didn't I? How many times am I going to repeat myself?
So you just let her get in your bed?
Where was I, Fraggle? You know exactly where I was.
Why did you lie
again? I was sat in the chair, wasn't I?
Why did
so
you
why are you trying to make out
why
we was
did
in the
you
bed
why
together
did you
because we weren't, and we
why
never have
did you
been?
why did you let my wife get in your bed? Why didn't
Because
you
she
suggest
was
to her,
cold and you were still going.
You was loving it, wasn't you? You was loving it.
You was
loving it that she was in your bed. You was loving it when she was in your bed. That's the answer why.
I'm not losing it, Fraggle. I'm just raising my voice.
No, I'm not losing it. I'm just laughing at you.
You're losing.
I'm just laughing at you with your. I'm laughing at you with your arguments.
Now I think you're going to hear something now, Frag, because someone's just come walking towards me.
All right, put the boot on the other foot, right? I'm in your position. Your wife comes into my bed. What do you think I'm going to say?
So you can't speak.
Boot on the other foot, right?
Play with your head again.
Boot on the other foot, right? If your wife
got into my bed,
if your wife got into my bed,
shut your mouth, Fraggle, and listen.
Shut up, you dickhead.
How we guys? Keep it. Let's not start arguing.
You don't like it. If the boot was on the other foot,
yeah, but if we're going to argue, you're not going to achieve anything.
If your wife got into my bed, what do you think I would have said? Do you think I would have let your wife just get in my bed? No.
Mute
I'll
him,
tell
Tom.
her,
Jack
get
wants
the
to
fuck
speak.
out. I'd say, get the hell out of my bed and get back in your husband's bed. That's what I would have done. Boot on the other foot. Your wife got into my bed. It wouldn't happen
See how he's
because I'll be
stopping Jackie
telling
from
her.
speaking.
Because I'll be telling her, get back into your fucking room with your husband. Simple. You didn't do that. You was loving it that she got into your bed, and you never once tried to say, "What you doing in my bed?" Did you? You never once done that, did you?
You can all hear her. She's trying to speak and he won't let her.
Manipulation
Right,
again.
Right. Sorry. Listen, do you know what it is, guys? There's no point arguing like that because you aren't going to achieve anything.
No, but
I've
I've got
still got-
specific questions there, Torb. Like, why
Jackie's
did
trying
he
to
allow
speak and
my
he won't
wife to
let
get
her.
in his bed?
Right,
And
why
he
don't we
can't
let
even
Jackie
answer
have
it
her say
himself.
then?
I'll put a scenario forward. If the boot was on the other foot and
Mute
his wife
her.
got in
Mute
my
him.
bed, I would not allow his wife to get into my bed. Simple as.
Right, listen then. If Jackie's here, stay. Right, listen. You may as well let her speak because you're saying they've had an affair. Rob's saying not. Let her speak. She might slip up. I'm not saying I don't know. So why don't you let her speak and she might give you the answers that you want. Is that a yeah? Let her speak, eh? Let's keep it fair. Go on then, Jackie.
Right. Reason why I was freezing cold is one, I did dialysis for one. Came back, I still can't control my body temperature. So, yeah, I went into my bathroom because the cats were in there. So I thought, all right, I'll keep the cats warm as well. So I went into the bathroom, put a blanket, well, sat on the bed first for a bit, talking. Then after that, I felt a bit cold, so I went to get my blanket, put that on. And then after that, I just dozed off underneath my blanket. I woke up thinking on the end of the corner, my foot was wet. I said, you can't see it peed on my blanket. So I got off the bed, got my blanket, unplugged it all, put it in the bedroom on top of the washing basket. Then came back into Rod's room to sit on the bed with the cats, and I was still dithering. Rod says, get underneath the quilt and keep warm. And that's that. I fell asleep again. There you go.
And at that point, I was sat in the chair.
And Rod was sat in the chair then.
There you go.
Yeah, but needless to say, why didn't you suggest why is she getting in your bed?
I'm not
Why
going to go
not
over
my
the
bed?
same thing over and over again, Fraggle, because
Yeah,
you've
because
gone
you ain't
over it like
answering.
7 or 8
Because you
times
ain't
trying to prove
answered
a
it
point that
straightly, have you?
he isn't even there.
You never once suggested, oh, you should be in Steve's room. He's your husband. Don't get in my bed. What are you doing in my bed?
I wasn't
And why
getting
allow
involved
it
in
to
the
happen?
domestic, as I said. So I carried on painting. You see?
still allowed it all to continue. If the boot was on the other foot, I would have told your wife, what the fuck are you doing in my room? More specifically, what the fuck are you doing in my bed? You should be over there with your fucking husband, not in my room.
But at that point,
But
you're
that never
ringing all these
happened.
people talking about
But
your
that never
exes.
happened, did it? Because you was loving the attention you was
At that
getting
point, you're ringing
from
your
Jackie.
exes and talking about them, weren't you? In
You
the
was
other room,
was
just
getting
loud
the
enough so she could hear you.
you
and
was
say,
loving
"I'm
the attention.
painting."
You was loving the attention that you was getting from Jackie, wasn't you? That's why you allowed her to stay in your bed, and you never once thought about me to say, "Hold on, what are you doing in my bed? You should be with your fucking husband."
You might as well cut it toast because you're just going over the same thing again and again and again.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're not answering specific questions, and at the end of the day, this is just going to go around in stupid circles. So as far as I'm concerned,
He has answered it. He's saying it hasn't happened, Steve. That's what he's saying. Now,
well,
I know you're not accepting that. I know that, mate. But to be fair, he has answered it, and he's saying that hasn't happened. And I think it's for everyone else. Well, not us anyway. But I think people are going to make. I think people are going to make their own minds up one way or the other. I think it's a question of, you've already said you're going to go for divorce, but where do we go with yours two? I is going to stay at loggerheads. I is going to just fucking decide. You know what? What's done's done. Accept what's done. And I'm not saying it's easy.
I've said nothing. I've kept my mouth shut. I've let him run with his lives. I put a few comments in Holden's where he's restreaming Holden's live to show that he had views, which he didn't. He only had 4. The rest were all Holden's because it was a restream. And obviously I was in there with 4 different accounts. And they deleted every single one because every single one was just saying he's telling lies, twisting the truth. Go and watch Holden's live, or even Steve's, and you'll see it's totally different.
Everything that I've stated, I've always stuck to these facts. I haven't changed my story. I haven't changed the facts coming out of my mouth.
How many times you moved your live back the other day because you was trying to sort it out with Holden first?
No, I didn't need to. Holden jumped on at the last second.
Because you came in halfway through.
Ask Holden. He contacted me half an hour before I was going to do the live, actually.
He knew exactly.
And then the reasons why I put it off is
everybody
because I wasn't.
Everybody
the reasons I put it. The reasons I put it off. The reasons I put it off is because maybe I wasn't. Maybe I wasn't in the house.
In the end,
maybe I wasn't in the house at the time.
Over and over and over again.
See now you're throwing accusations that you can't back. Maybe it was because I wasn't in the house and I was out, and I didn't get back until a certain time. Maybe that's the reason why I put it off.
No, because
Ronan contacted me half an hour before the final time I was going to go on, and he said, I will jump on your live right now if you go live right now. And as it happened, I sat down with a coffee and I went live bang on the spot. Nothing was spoken behind the scenes. I thought
you restreamed it like I did. I said that to you.
Ronan would tell you we hadn't spoken about anything.
I'm not saying you spoke. I'm not saying you spoke. I thought you'd restreamed it.
248.
But I wasn't at home. I wasn't at home to go live at the time that I'd put it for. That's why I kept putting it off, because I didn't know what time I was getting back home. So there you go. You're making more accusations that you can't back.
You were restreaming it. We watched the viewers. We watched it.
So does it matter why I put it? Does it really matter why I put it? Does it really matter why I put it off? It's because I wasn't at the house.
That's the reason. You needed Holden to back you up.
I didn't need Holden to back me up.
Stupid in the end.
I planned to do it on my own. Actually, I planned to do it. I planned to do it on my own. And Holden said 10 minutes or half an hour before I actually went live, he said, "Fuck it, I'll jump on." You don't believe me? You ask Ronan, and he'll tell you exactly them words.
So how many accounts did you block then, Steve?
None of your business. It's my prerogative who my mods block.
Jackie was sitting watching as well, and you forget she's a mod.
It ain't my prerogative.
Did you forget
who my
she's
mods
a mod?
Block.
Did you?
It's not my prerogative who my mods block. If my mods think that
your
people
mods
need blocking,
didn't block anybody, did they, Steve?
Oh, they did actually.
Every single one.
They did actually.
They did it because Jackie's your
They
mod.
did actually. One of my mods blocked 2 of your accounts. Yes.
Who blocked them all, Jack?
Himself.
There you go.
Yeah, but needless to say, I can do the hell what I want on my channel. I can have on who I want and who I don't want on. All I can say to you is nothing was planned. I was going to do it on my own. And Ronan suggested on the spot. And that's when I went live because I got through my door and had a coffee in my hand. So again, you're chucking more accusations that you don't know the answers to.
We'll start looking at the chat now. I can see your name all through the chat.
Chucking more accusations. So anyway, that's needless here. That's not what we're here for.
Who thinks Steve's on a shit? One in the chat.
Who thinks Rob's a fucking grass?
Come on, you're better than that.
Who thinks that Rob's a grass? And who thinks he's coerced and manipulated my wife, considering he never once suggested that my wife should have been in my room and not in his? Put 2 in the chat.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're
James,
just going around and around and around. You know, if you want, we'll have a proper full-blown argument and we'll get Torb's 50,000 views
keep
if
it
you
clean,
want.
keep it clean.
No, sack the views. Sack the
But,
views,
but
mate.
that's not what it's about. At the end of the day, it was
Yeah,
trying to
sack
bring
the views,
closure.
mate.
It was trying to bring closure to this, but unfortunately, you know, I'm going to go on with the way that my world is going to continue. You know, as far as
That
I'm
means you're gonna
concerned
stop
about you, Rob, I
texting.
mean, as far as I'm concerned about you, Rob, you don't exist. Don't matter what you put on social media. This day forward, I'm not going to fucking put slagging off stuff on social media as regards to you,
Go on, big up.
right? And I expect you to do the same.
That's the way
You know, we
forward,
ain't
like.
never going to see eye to eye, right? But then this day forward, I ain't putting out no more garbage about this situation on social media. You know, and I hope that you will do the same. I'm
Well, I
going to
haven't done
move
it anyway,
on.
have I?
I mean, I'm gonna move on. You know, that's the way that I'm going. You know, we probably won't ever see eye to eye. You know, but from this day forward,
How long were you
I
married, Rob?
ain't gonna be putting anything more on any social media platform as regards to this situation. Because as
Yeah,
far
go
as
on,
I'm
big up, mate.
concerned, I'm just gonna walk forward and get
How
on
long
with
have you
my
been
life.
married to Jackie?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm gonna get on with my life.
Stay. How long were you married to Jackie for?
About 1 year and 6 months.
How long were you with her altogether?
4 years.
4 years altogether. Married for just over a year and a half. Okay, mate.
We got engaged after about 1 year and a half, I think.
Go on, mate.
And then it
So
was
we're going to
probably
sack all
another
this social
year
media
before we got
stuff,
married.
We're going to sack all this social media stuff, aren't we? Because you know what? It's not going to achieve now, mate.
Well, I mean, I've just said, Torbs, you know, I'm not from this day
I
forward.
know
Ain't
you're up,
no
brother.
more fucking garbage out on fucking social media as
Yeah.
regards to this situation, and I expect Rob to do the same.
Yeah.
I expect Rob to be a man and do the same. You know, he gets on with his life, I get on with my life.
Yeah. Is that a yeah from you, Rob?
Yeah, I haven't done it anyway, so I've got nothing to
Yeah.
stop. I started nothing anyway. I stayed out of it.
Right. Okay then. Have we got anything else we want to say to each other before we part ways then? Stay.
No,
Ask you first. Stay, have you?
No, I think I've said anything. I'm just going to be the bigger person in this and walk away from this scenario and not put no more shit on fucking social media.
Go on, mate.
Or even talk about this situation from here on forward, because I'm just going to move on with my world. The direction my world goes in, that's what I choose. And whatever direction Rob's world walks in, that's what he chooses.
Well, aye. Then. So are we going to draw a line then, and that's the lab done?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you know, the line is drawn, and as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's the last time you're going to hear me bringing this subject up, because I'm moving forward, and Rob can get on with his world, and I can get on with my world.
I know, and I get and I get it'll be difficult as well, Steve. But it's better off keeping it off social media, mate. You know, I said that to you last night, didn't I? Get if that's what you want to do with the lab, get it done, and then fucking sack it off.
See, that's why I spoke to you, or you spoke to me as regards to this, you know, and I said, well, you're neutral, right? And I respect you, Torbs, for, you know, allowing this, you know, to happen on your channel, right? You know, Rob, you know me, so it's probably harder for yourself, you know, but like I said to you, I know that you're neutral down the middle. You've proved that here today. You know me, you know Rob, and you know probably, you know, this was maybe the right way to go about it. You know, so respect to yourself, Torbs. You know, for volunteering to, you know, be the mucky man in the fucking middle.
If I'm honest, I wished I didn't have to do that though, Steve. You know, I wish that, you know what I'm
Well,
saying. I wish I never, but it got brought, didn't it? And it is what it is. But hopefully,
and
that's it.
like I
No
said,
more
I mean,
social media shit.
after doing that live with Ronan, my words were, it ain't fair unless it's happened on a neutral platform.
Yeah.
That's why I said to you, let's get this done. Because people might think it's one-sided, or on Ronan's show it might have looked as it was one-sided. Whereas today, it's done with somebody who's neutral that does know both parties.
Yeah.
So respect to yourself. Didn't want to really have to put you through this. Like you say, you might feel awkward. Stuck
You
in the
know,
middle.
do you know what, mate? At the end of the day, do you know what? I'm buzzing that I didn't. It was going to go that way at one point where it was going to be a slagging match. But you know what? I didn't want that. And you know what? Right, that's what would have brought the views. It'd have brought more views if I'd have let you fucking rant and rave at each other. But at the end of the day, what's getting achieved?
Well,
What's getting achieved?
like you said, it ain't about views. This is a real life situation. That needed sorting or calming down. One way, shape, or form. It's not about the views, guys. This ain't made up bullshit. This is like a real life scenario. For all the people out there thinking that this is just made up for views, it's not.
It is real. 100% it's real.
I know it's real. Like you can tell just listening right here, right now. You can tell in the tones of the voices that it's real.
No, none of us have pre-planned this. None of us has pre-planned to each other or to Torbs. That we're going to make this situation up, because that ain't the truth.
You can tell just in the tones. We don't even have to see your faces. I can tell just in in your tone, Steve. I can hear the devastation in your voice. I can hear. At times, I could hear Yogi getting frustrated. I know, 100%. Even before I've heard you on here, I knew it was real anyway. To be fair,
Yeah,
I
but
knew the other night.
this is for the viewers out there that are going to be running around saying, "Oh, that was all the setup." That's just because views needed to be gained, and that would be far from the truth.
No, it's not.
Definitely not. Definitely not. So I don't know what to do. Should we call it a day then? If there's no else to get fucking ironed out or said.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
he's ended on half a good note, as they say, and not as a fucking full blown slagging match. So, I'll take me out off to Rob. I'll take me out off to myself for that.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on, I know, because it could have got messy. I mean, it's messy anyway, to be fair, and I've said that to both of you, it's messy, but, it could have got a lot messier. But I'd have tried my hardest not to let that get to that. Oh,
That's why I haven't retaliated against anything, and I've just left it.
I think we both tried to be adults on this.
I know. So we've got nothing else to say. You're going to go and get your divorce, Steve. Is that the way you want to do it? Because when I got a divorce, I didn't even know about that, what you just said, that thing beginning with the A.
There's a lot of people, Torbs, that don't know about arbitration. It's something that many people won't even know what the word means. All I say, guys, if you want to know what arbitration is, just Google it, and you'll find out what's involved. And
you need a solicitor for it. You need a solicitor. So do you need a solicitor to do that as well? I mean, you can do a divorce yourself anyway.
That's basically the way around it without a solicitor.
Right.
You can imagine marriage guidance, but marriage guidance leads to both parties amicably coming back together.
Yeah.
This is like marriage guidance, but leading to the divorce kind of thing.
Right. Okay, I get you.
I mean, not a lot of people in the world know about arbitration, and
I didn't know about it, if I'm honest, I didn't have a clue. And
Yeah,
I've been through it
if you
before.
Google it and then if you read up about it, then you'll probably understand it a lot better.
I've been through a divorce as well, mate, Steve. Do you know what I mean? But I was lucky in the sense there was no property to share, there was no assets. It was just a straightforward divorce. And I got like this deal. The solicitor was doing like the package thing where it only cost me a couple of £100 at the solicitor. And we sent the divorce petition out where she didn't sign and send it back. So what it is, we sent it by recorded delivery. She only signed for it, so we knew. Then the courts knew that she'd received that divorce petition. That's how I ended up getting a divorce, because she didn't want to divorce me because she knew that I'd got back with Mel. Like after we split up, though, I mean, after I'd split up with her, I got back with Mel. Or I should have stayed with whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, like I
so,
say,
yeah.
I mean, many people out there don't know arbitration. I mean, I didn't come across it until I was searching around Google.
Right.
It's not one of these scenarios that everybody in the world would know about.
Yeah, like I say,
but
I
if
didn't
anybody
know.
wants to know what it is, like Google it, and I learned something new because I didn't know what the word existed.
I've heard the word, like, but I didn't know much. I didn't know fuck all about it anyway. Let's be honest.
No, it's the only
But I
way I
was
can
lucky.
describe it. It's like
I
marriage
was lucky because if
guidance.
you go through a solicitor, for a divorce, it can cost fucking some money. But if it's a straightforward divorce where you and Jackie, you both agree, you're both in agreement that you want a divorce, it's just straightforward. It'll cost you a couple of £100 at solicitors, mate.
What if your Mrs. and Yogi is saying is true and you do the wrong?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you there, Rob, properly.
That's
Jackie there.
Yeah, Jackie's reading the message at the chat.
All right, sorry. Yeah, it won't cost you much, Steve. If it's just a straightforward divorce where you both agree that you want a divorce, I put unacceptable behaviour. I didn't put. I should have put thing we do.
That's my chair, actually, James. It's creaking.
Right, then I'm going to call it a day because just as you were starting to argue, I was just fucking ordering a dinner. I thought, why you progressing? All right, I'll order a dinner. So I'm going to call it a day, Rob.
Yeah.
Unless and you, Steve, unless you've got anything else that you want to say before.
No, I mean, I'd rather leave it on that note there without a full-blown battle. And I mean, like, respect for Rob for keeping it calm and myself.
Yeah, and you.
I know you viewers out there wanted to see, full fireworks, but unfortunately, none of it.
I think that's what might have been expected.
That's what would have been expected.
I mean, a few people was expecting that. I mean, but at the end of the day, we're all adults. We might not get on, we might not like each other from this day forward, but at the end of the day, that's we're adults in all of this, and for the sake of putting on a show, that would not have been true, would it? That would have been us just for creating drama.
Yeah, it would have. But even if you was like when you started arguing there, I was always going to try and fucking bring it back and try and keep it calm. It's like you say, what would it have achieved?
Hello, official. That you didn't expect this, did you?
Big up Sniffer family. No, I mean, like I said to you behind the scenes when I spoke to you, I said, well, it's a bit unfair me having somebody on that's, just maybe looking at stuff from my point of view. That's where I said, well, to make it fair, you're straight down the middle, and it's only fair that I do a live with yourself, because I don't want it to look all one way. And like I say, both of us, you've spoken to both of us. So, it was only fair that this was to happen.
You did say that, like, you did as well. He did get in contact and ask me to do the lab. So it was...
What's official?
So it wasn't all biased.
Exactly, and I mean that's not what point I wanted to put out there, because it is a real life scenario, and you know people are going to be looking at it, you know, from maybe both sides and saying, "Hold on a minute, you know, he's had somebody on that's probably more his friend, and he don't know Rob." Whereas in this scenario, you know both of us, so it made sense.
I know. I wish we didn't have to. I wish we weren't here and we didn't have to do the lab. But hey, yo, it is what it is.
It
You
was the
know,
best
I'm
way
just
to
saying
do it
it's
because
back. He's going
there was
lab.
too much floating about.
Like 2:30. Bastard. I was going to say start it up now, Spark and Nash on. I know. Now, so what's the rest? What have you got planned for the day, Steve?
Well, I'm gonna cook dinner, and then I'm gonna bugger off up the pub, and have a couple of pints.
Don't eat that sauce too hard, you know, mate. That
Down,
won't achieve fuck all now, but
down to the sports bar to have a couple of pints. That's what my plans are.
yeah. Just make sure you're not fucking having a couple of pints every day, though, mate. That won't change.
I can't.
No, mate. Honest, it won't change fuck all, mate. Well, it will. It'll just put you in a big hole.
I mean, the end of the day, I
Don't
would
go
never
getting
drink
pissed
if
on
I
that
was
whiskey.
depressed. I don't drink whiskey. I ain't got whiskey. I don't drink if I'm depressed. I don't drink if I'm feeling down. I would rather have a happy pint, you know,
Yeah.
than to you know, get pissed and depressed and stuff like that. I mean, that's not me at all.
No, I'm not saying. Stay. You know, at the end of the day, we're human, and you know, when things go wrong in our life, we tend to try and reach for something that switches our head off, mate. And it feels at that time when we're reaching for it, it feels as though it is switching it off. But what we do, I'm talking from my own experience. What I do is I fucking create a whole different world of fucking problems, mate. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Rob and Jackie, you know, they know I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. You know, I have a drink every now and again, if that. But like, say, I would never drink if I was depressed. You know, I'm wanting a happy pint. If you know what, if there's any such thing as a happy pint. So you know, I ain't gonna go downhill as regards to drink or fucking drugs.
No, you hope not. You're not a bad bloke, Rob. I mean, Steve. Why do I keep getting you two mixed up?
You keep doing that.
Yeah, you've
I
done it
know.
bloody. You've done it
I do it
yesterday
to
as well. Fucking
Sparky.
called me Rob.
I know I did. I did on the phone. I called you Rob. I know. I'm sure I called Rob. Stay on the phone as well the other day. Fucking swear down, mate. I get Sparky mixed up. I can't even remember who I was getting Sparky mixed up with a couple of months ago. I do it all. I'm backward, you see. Call me Backward Bill from next door with two. You know. Yeah. Call me fucking Backward Bill. Oh, you're right, Flammy, at the moment. Big up the border all day long, even though we went in the cup yesterday.
Big up Emma Cockrell. Hope you and Brian are doing well.
Big up Amanda. Hello.
Amanda's
Big up Amanda all day long. Big them all up, man. We'll big yous all up, apart from
Big Andy
even the haters.
Big up all the people in the chat.
Yeah, even the haters, because you drive me on.
Even to the haters in the chat against me. Big yourselves up.
And me. I know there's plenty of haters. I do a little twat like me too.
The world wouldn't go round if it was just one-way traffic.
You know, I tell you what I hate. I hate them fucking Leeds fans, mate. No, them Leeds fans. It is what it is. No, I'm only joking. Big up Andy W.
Porky,
Someone's got to support them, and it's you, Andy. Hey, you listen to this. I was watching a video the other day. This bloke, right, he does hotel reviews, and he went to the Ritz. When he gives the price, right, of the of what it cost. So he got a room. He had a dinner. It was over fucking 300 quid just for the dinner in there, man. All he had was beef Wellington, over 300 quid. So I think it was over 1,500 quid for the room and dinner, right? And I'm thinking, I'm going to save up and take Mel there. And then when I thought about it, I thought, I'd only have to put another 200 quid and that'd be one of us to go to fucking Thailand for a fortnight. You know what I mean? How mad's that? Fucking 1,500 quid to stay in a hotel.
Just going through the chat now. To be fair, I don't see any hate in the chat, to be fair with you.
There wasn't much. There was just fucking people thought they were funny earlier on, but you know, people just putting. I know, Sparky. I'm telling you, fucking 1,500 quid, 300 quid, Sparks. You must know. All he had was beef Wellington, and a champagne cocktail each. That was 28 quid each for the fucking champagne cocktail, man. Ruthless.
Fucking hell, that's expensive.
Do you know what they done to him? They said to him, "Do you want what's it called? Them fucking things. That thing called? It's like a mushroom. What's it called? Truffle." Said, "Do you want truffle with your when they come to the table to serve it and all that?" Said, "Do you want truffle?" They done about 3 fucking grates of this truffle. It cost them 12 quid each. So an extra 24 quid. Just have. I'd have said, "Fucking keep your truffle." And they were gutted because they said at the end of the video, "We thought the truffle come with it."
JJ. Big up JJ. All they need
All
to
day
do
long.
is go have a MacD's, have a chat, do a live to test and move on.
Yeah.
Fucking what's this?
No more
What's this?
Jeremy
Lie
Kyle.
detectors and fucking acros.
Fuck them fucking McDonald's, the shite. Have a Burger King instead.
Nah, no way, man. They're like £12 a fucking burger.
I know, because they're better, that's what I know they are, like, but McDonald's
Fucking
is shite, bro.
TJ Fridays, I went in there, it's like fucking £25, right, for a little burger and a little piece of lettuce.
It's shocking, isn't it? Shocking.
Fucking madness, mate. The prices of living nowadays are hitting the fucking roof, and it's only going to go up unless Labour come into power.
Do you know what, Roy Walker? It's funny you should say that. I was watching a video, well, I seen a clip on here earlier saying Bangkok, why would it stinks and it's scruffy. But talking about Indonesia, I've been looking at Bali, to be fair. Been looking at Bali.
Right or wrong, you're right there. Electric, man, that's just hitting the roof.
Electric. You should see how much are your electric. They're saying they want fucking £8,000 off me for the electric and fucking $2,500 gas bill. Stupid cunts. When really, in reality, and this is the truth, I haven't had that eaten off, right, for 3 months solid round the clock, 24 hours a day. So, if anything, the gas should be £8,000. Do you know what I mean?
How much is your electric Torbs up there?
Well, what it is, I owe them 8, 9, 10. I owe them just short of £11,000. They said they come to the door on the 29th for full payment.
What, £11,000 a year?
No, fucking £11,000 because they haven't paid them for fucking over a year. Yeah, but you know why though, Steve? Because we were on a monthly, right? And we were paying anywhere from like fucking 50 odd quid, about 57 quid, I think. They're saying they're going to fucking take us to County Court and all that, Rob. But anyway, I'd phoned them and said the meters are fucked. And then he ended up getting deadlocked with them. I fucked it up because of my mental health. They'd offered us 250 quid compensation. I would say I fucking knocked them back.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were paying, Steve, for gas and electric combined when they were billing us properly about between fucking 50 odd quid and a month. And the highest bill we had was about 83, 84 quid, I believe.
And that's for electric and gas.
Electric and gas, yeah.
I mean, anything between 20 and 30 quid a week for gas, for electric, I would say that's like normal nowadays. Anything more than that's fucking, out of the roof.
Honest, mate. Yeah, so there's going to be probably some videos made when they turn up at the door with a port to try and say they're going to put fucking. We're not putting no meters in here, mate. I pay as you go. I'm going to phone them tomorrow anyway and make a new complaint. And then once I make a new complaint, we've got to put it on hold.
You can use mental health to have the debt wiped. if
Yeah.
depression, etc., can interfere with your ability to remember to pay. That's the
Well,
point.
what it is, I had a complaint in with them, right? But because they weren't getting back hold of me, and I'd let it go longer than 3 months, right? That's where I'd fucked up. But it was my mental health why I wasn't fucking phoning them back up, mate. So I'm going to tell them, mate. Anyway, I'm going to phone them tomorrow. I'll make a video on it. I'll make a video for the taking our money back channel tomorrow. Munchies, I'm getting a dinner delivered now. I'm getting a fucking Sunday roast. I've got lamb. Mel, what meat did you get? I said I couldn't know now. Mel, what meat did you get? Beef. Pork. Oh, did they have pork as well? Oh, you got all. It's like, so there was chicken, lamb, and beef.
Got a slice of each.
Yeah, as you do. I just put lamb meat for change.
Real
What is
better
beef?
to bang old.
Yeah.
You put lamb and beef.
Oh, did I put lamb and beef? Oh, did I? I'm getting lamb and beef. Bastard. I hope the beef's come. Fucking better not be tough. Oh, I'm fucking starving. Right, listen, boys. I am going to call it a day. But Mel just said to me, it's on the way. No, fuck that cauliflower cheese. You can see that. Anyone setting the lab up? I know Sparky's going live at half 2. What time is it? Half 1. Sparky's going live at half 2, guys. Look at this. Well, anyone setting the lab up? Speak now or forever hold your peace. What about Moan? Are you setting the lab up, Moan? And we'll put the link in for you. Sparky, I might pop on yours later, actually, for a bit. Not long, though, because I've got loads to do with Mel.
How are you doing, Sam?
Having a babe.
Why are we not going?
Yes, got big plans, mate.
Yogi, did you have 50 fingers to extend? This is wonderful.
No, then no one's setting the lab up. No. Right then, guys, I'm going to end this. And this is to the chat. I'll catch you all later. Thanks for joining us. And you two stay there because I want to ask you a question when I come backstage. Right, I'll catch you later, guys. Ta-da.